It is now time for the King Tornado Man Show. The King Tornado Man Show is now on air.
Recommended for you throw videos from other channels you might like, bro.
Likely out of this tornado, which has been working its way through our northwestern counties, through Hopkins, into Muhlenberg, far southern McLean, and now most recently Ohio County, getting ready to move toward the Rough River Lake vicinity, if not right over Rough River Lake. So Rockdale, the next minute or so. Fentress McMahon at 11:51, McCoy at 12:04, getting after midnight here, and then Locust Hill 12:10, and the Woodrow community at 12:15 in the morning. All these communities in southern Breckinridge County. But if you live in northwestern Grayson County, please do not let your guard down. You're still under the tornado warning there. It's going to be a very close pass there around the Fentress community and also the area around Hickory Corner. Here's Hickory Corner, and here's Highway 736. If you live around that area, need to be in a safe spot, as this could pass very, very close to you as it moves through the far southern tip of Breckinridge County. It could graze northwestern Grayson County, moving over Highway 79, and then potentially right over, very close to Rough River Dam. There's Rough River Dam right there. Here's Rough River Lake extending out to the east where the dam is located. So that tornado very well could move right over the lake as we head through the next half hour or so, and could create more significant damage as it does so. Again, if you live in this area, far southern Breckinridge County, northwestern Grayson County, and you've not already sought shelter, please, we beg of you to go ahead and do it. This has been a long-tracked, dangerous tornado that has produced a lot of destruction in its wake and was declared dangerous and catastrophic by the folks in the National Weather Service office when it moved through places like Caldwell and Hopkins counties a short while ago. Ethan?
Yeah, so we still have this very strong rotation. Kind of hard to tell at this point on velocity, but it's still there. Don't let your guard down if you are in southern Breckinridge and northeastern Grayson counties. In fact, there it is. That new scan just came in showing us that rotation still very tight, very strong. And I'll get the pointer out real quick to show you right in here. So right to the north of the Grayson County line into southern Breckinridge County. I'll zoom into that location to tell you where this strong tornado is. Dipster, you are in the direct path of this tornado. Get your shelter now. There's no excuse at this point. You're going to be in that lowest level of your building immediately. Also, the Rough River Lake State Park, it's making a beeline right towards that Rough River Lake Dam. And I'll take a look now at the corrosion coefficient. This is letting us know where that debris ball is. And there it is. That green and yellow indicating where dirt and dust has been picked up in the atmosphere from this large destructive tornado, making its way towards Hickory Corner, Fentress McMahon, and also the Rough River Lake Dam, as Shane has been mentioning. I'll take you back to velocity real quick and show you where that tight couplet is. And taking a look at that near Dempster, Glen Dean, Hickory Corner. You're all in the path of this extremely large and dangerous tornado, observed and confirmed. So at this point, you don't need to be outside at all. You need to be in the lowest level of your building. And then also, too, making sure you wait until this tornado warning is expired before you even make any actions getting away from that safe space. And again, this is moving off to the east and northeast, moving at 60 miles per hour. Very fast-moving, very dangerous tornado making its way into southern Breckinridge and northern Grayson County. So again, if you're in Hickory Corner at Rough River State Park, you want to be in your safe space immediately. This is heading towards the Rough River Lake Dam. And again, this is a look at velocity. Very strong, very tight rotation associated with this. And in addition to all of this, very, very strong winds, we're also dealing with very, very heavy rainfall along with this. And looking at some reports, it looks like the Rough River State Park is a shelter. Great to know that they have some shelters there. The thing is, though, at this point, you need to be in that shelter now because this is heading in that direction.
Yeah, you really don't have much time to travel if you're in Breckinridge County right now. I wouldn't do it at all. I would shelter in place at this point.
Yeah, immediately shelter in place. But nonetheless, though, we are tracking that and taking a look now at other reports, perhaps. I'm not seeing anything, but still, this is going to be a very dangerous tornado, causing a lot of power outages throughout portions of the WBKO viewing area due to this extremely dangerous tornado. That scan just updated, and you can see that bright red and dark red right near the Rough River Lake Dam. And it is still a very strong, dangerous tornado. Taking a look now at that debris ball, see where that's located? Yes, it is right next to Rough River State Park. Kind of hard to tell at this point with the radar being as high up as it is, but nonetheless, though, we've been having multiple confirmations, multiple observations. This is a dangerous, long-living tornado that's been tracking this direction for the last few hours, and at this point, still creating likely damage, and also with that very, very strong winds and power outages in its wake. Shane?
Yes, and now our next area of concern around Rough River Lake State Park, which is right about here. Here's the dam. There's Highway 79 that goes right over Rough River Dam. This tornado is likely to cross right over Rough River Dam and Rough River State Park within the next few minutes. So you're just about out of time if you live around Rough River Lake right now to go ahead and seek shelter. If you've not already done so, we beg of you to do it. This thing has been long-lived, observed, and dangerous. It is now moving through extreme southern Breckinridge County, still not off the hook if you're in extreme northwestern Grayson County. Here's Hickory Corner right here. You got Highway 736 heading southward. Here's Highway 79 also heading southward from out of Breckinridge County into Grayson County. This whole area is the area of concern right now, so don't let your guard down in northwestern Grayson County. If you live around Hickory Corner, still need to be in your place of safety right now. That's especially true along Highway 79 near places like Falls of Rough and also near Rough River State Park. This tornado likely to go right over or very close to the state park area along Highway 79 heading toward the Axtell community. That's just to the north of Rough River Lake. You've got McDaniels up there as well in southern Breckinridge County. Here's Highway 259. Eventually this is going to be heading toward 259 that runs south out of Hardinsburg and toward Litchfield. So this tornado is going to be heading in an east-northeastward fashion, likely following the northward shores, it looks like, of Rough River Lake. Here's Rough River Lake right here. Again, the dam is situated right there near the center of your screen, and you have the Rough River State Park also in that vicinity. And right there, we still see indication of debris. It's not quite as pronounced as it was earlier, but it's still there around the Fentress community. And there is Highway 79, Rough River Dam, right there, and the state park right there next to it. Again, this tornado likely to go right over that vicinity, crossing over Highway 79, and will likely move right over Rough River Lake, at least the northern shores of it. Here, the southern shores down here, extending into Grayson County. The northern part of that lake, most under the gun right now for that tornado potential, as it works over Highway 79 between Hardinsburg and Litchfield. This has been a long-lived supercell now, has reached the northern portions of our coverage area, but it has wasted little time in doing so. First moving through Hopkins County, where we had a report of a large destructive tornado in Dawson Springs earlier. Catastrophic was a tag put around that by the National Weather Service office in Paducah, something we don't see around here very often. And then that moved through Hopkins County, northern Muhlenberg County, southern McLean County, has made its way out of Ohio County, and is now working through southernmost Breckinridge County. And that tornado would be right over Highway 79 at this time, very, very close to Rough River State Park. And as we fan it out for you, show you the motion and the timing, here's Hinton Hills at 11:50. That's happening right about now. Same for St. Anthony's School as far as estimated time of arrival. Cave Spring at 11:54, Cave Spring Church at 11:55, and then Westview, all these communities here in southern Breckinridge County at 11:57 this evening. So within the next 7 minutes, again, this thing is hauling it to the east-northeast, speeds of about 50 to 60 miles an hour. Those speeds have been variable, but the bottom line is that it's been a fast mover and that it's been long tracked and observed. Ethan?
Yeah, so I just got word from our news director, and I just got it confirmed on Twitter, that Governor Andy Beshear has issued a state of emergency for Western Kentucky because of the damage that's happened so far in Mayfield and in Princeton. More damage likely to come at this point. The night is far from over, and we are still tracking these strong to severe storms, also catastrophic tornadoes that were moving through earlier. But right now, still have that particularly dangerous storm, this tornado, moving through northern Rough River Lake, making its way through Breckinridge County into extreme northern portions of Grayson County. And taking a look now at the correlation coefficient, this is where that debris ball is. Again, towards Cave Spring, Hickory Hills, and towards the northern shores of the Rough River Lake area. And that's where this large tornado would be if we don't have any confirmation of it being there from any reporters. However, we do have observation reports that it is considerable. And taking a look now, Breckinridge, Hardin, Meade counties, a confirmed large, extremely dangerous tornado located 7 miles south of Hardinsburg, moving to the north and east at 60 miles per hour. So we are still dealing with this extremely dangerous tornado, again, making its way towards the north and east now, heading towards northern Hardin County, towards Vertrees, Radcliffe, Rosetta. You're all in the path of this new tornado warning. It is a dangerous tornado. It's been a long-living tornado, and it is, again, moving very, very fast at 60 miles per hour. So it's observed considerable damage likely with this tornado. And it has caused damage in its wake, which is why Governor Andy Beshear has issued a state of emergency for the state of Kentucky, considering the damage it's caused in western Kentucky so far here tonight. But again, that rotation, new scan just coming in from the northern shores of Rough River Lake towards Cave Spring and Westview. That's where that strong rotation is. Taking a look now at the debris ball, the updated debris ball. And again, that looks to be very prominent there where that area of yellow is. It's not quite as defined as it was earlier, but still, nonetheless, though, there is debris showing up on radar. There is rotation showing up on radar. And we do have observed, confirmed reports that this is still on the ground, still a long-living tornado making its way through Breckinridge County. And again, we do have tornado warnings, new tornado warnings in effect for Hardin County, also into Meade County. It's going towards the outside of the WBKO viewing area. But nonetheless, though, where this long-living tornado is making its direction towards. I'll go ahead and see the timing of all of this over the next hour. In the next hour, here are some times that will tell you when this tornado will be making its way. Here in just 5 minutes, Woodrow in Breckinridge County, you'll be under the gun for this tornado being in your neck of the woods. At 12:09, just after midnight, Rosetta will be under the path of this tornado. And the times are jumping because in Hardin County, that's Eastern time, 1:22, Four Corners. At 1:40, it'll be at Radcliffe. And by 1:42, it'll be at Longview in northern portions of Hardin County. But again, this is a very fast-moving, dangerous tornado moving off to the north and east at 60 miles per hour. We'll go and zoom in back now towards northern portions of the Rough River Lake area, where that rotation very prominent, moving towards the Westview community, Kentucky Route 259, also towards Cave Spring, also just to the north of the Rough River Lake. And taking a look now at that debris ball, seeing if there's any updates with radar scans. And you can see that bright yellow. In fact, we'll go ahead and zoom out a little bit. And it's kind of hard to tell at this point. I'll go ahead and switch over to our Louisville radar and see what this looks like, and we'll see any updates. Yeah, so there is that debris ball from the Louisville radar. A lot more prominent than what we had on our radar over Hickory Hills, moving towards McDaniels. This is a large, confirmed, dangerous tornado. If you are in McDaniels, McCoy, Cave Spring, and Breckinridge County, you want to take cover now because this is moving right over you, over towards the Rough River Lake area. Taking a look now at velocity. Take a look at that rotation and see any updates on what that rotation looks like. I will go ahead and switch that again also to our Louisville radar, which it's still having a hard time showing up. But nonetheless, though, there is some rotation associated with this. In fact, it's still a confirmed, extremely dangerous tornado. Again, in southern Breckinridge County, extreme northern portions of Grayson County, along the Rough River Lake. Shane?
Okay, so now along Highway 259, here's Cave Spring. You've got to the northern part of Rough River Lake. Extending out here, you have New Salem Church, Fairview Church. This is the area of biggest concern right now. This is a tornado that has traveled through several counties, has been declared as large, dangerous and also catastrophic by the National Weather Service. And we have to assume that it's still on the ground now in southernmost Breckenridge County. Still cannot let your guard down, though, on the other side of the lake here from the Cave Spring community, traveling down Highway 259 as you head south from out of Hardinsburg. And then here's the McCoy community, also still in that tornado warned area. And keep in mind that warned area extends out now to the east into the eastern part of Breckenridge County. Here is Rough River State Park. The tornado beginning to work away from that area. Again, it's moving very quickly here, east-northeast, anywhere from 50 to 60 miles an hour. Still lots of lightning showing up here. That's been a constant throughout the life of this supercell. Long-track supercell now in southern Breckenridge County. There's Westview. That's north of Cave Spring as you travel up 259 toward Hardinsburg. Very dangerous spot to be in right now. And there's the Fairview Church area. Here's Burris, and then here's Hudson. That's where that tornado is going to be headed next as it moves into the eastern part of Breckenridge County. Northern Grayson County, still not quite off the hook just yet, especially here around the Hidden Hills area. Hickory Corner, looks like the worst of the weather is beginning to move away from you, and it's up here now into southernmost Breckenridge County. And as we pan our way a little bit farther to the east, there you see the Hudson community. Here's Highway 401. Here's the Dyer community. And there's a new velocity sweep. It still looks dangerous here, folks, as you work your way now east of Westview and just a little bit to the west of the Burris community. Here's Woodrow here at the top of your screen. That's in central Breckenridge County. This is Breckenridge County we're looking at here on MaxStorm HD. Far northern Grayson County there at the bottom of your screen. This is well to the north of you in Litchfield and into Breckenridge County right now, moving toward Burris, between there and Woodrow. This is where the tornado would be at this time. And we still have to believe that this could very well be on the ground. This is debris detection here. We've been noting a consistent debris ball, still some showing up there. Okay, all right, I think we have some video now. This is video from out of Central City. This is video of the tornado that occurred in Central City earlier tonight. And it would be illuminated, there it is, being illuminated by the lightning. Wow, that is an incredible shot.
Wow. Very broad, very wide tornado.
Again, what you're looking at here is the tornado that touched down earlier tonight in Central City in Muhlenberg County. That's the one that we know did significant damage to a hardware store on Everly Brothers Boulevard there as it moved through Central City. And wow, the funnel very evident there, being illuminated by the lightning strokes. You can hear the sirens wailing in the background. Again, this was earlier from Muhlenberg County, but wow, that is very dramatic footage indeed.
That is right. And that's right. And now we are going to continue our coverage with the current tornado warning that is in Breckenridge County. Still that strong rotation towards the Woodrow community, also towards Burris and Custer in Breckenridge County. And then again, this is a particularly dangerous storm. This has had the history of producing a long-living tornado. Still an observed confirmed tornado making its way into Meade and Hardin counties. Meade County is outside the WBKO viewing area, and northern Hardin County, you can see there, Vertrees, Radcliffe. You're in the path of this tornado. You can see where that bright red and dark red are close together. I'll get the pointer out and show you that really quick. Right over Woodrow. That is where that tornado would be. Large destructive tornado would be making its way towards the east and northeast, heading towards Four Corners, and again towards the Vertrees community over towards Hardin County. And we'll take a look now at the reflectivity. This is showing us where the rain is, and this tornado very likely rain wrapped at this point, and indeed it is. A lot of dark red indicating very heavy rainfall, a lot of lightning with this as well, with a lot of thunder, I assume, with that. So if you're in these locations, we don't need confirmations. The videos are incredible to see. The thing is, though, what's more important is for you to be in that safe space, the lowest level of your building, whether it's the basement, the bathroom, the stairwell, closet, anywhere where you're away from windows and you are at the most structurally and integrity spot of the building, whether it's the stairwell, again, the basement, or perhaps the bathroom. Those are the best spots you can be in this kind of situation. And again, tornado warning still holding on for Breckenridge County, extreme eastern portions of Breckenridge County at this point, also into northern Hardin County, just to the north and to the west of E-Town, including Radcliffe, and also southern portions of Meade County, which is outside the WBKO viewing area. We'll take a look now at velocity, where that rotation is once again just to the south of Rosetta. You see where that dark red and bright red is, and that is where that strong, dangerous, long-living tornado is continuing to make its way through those communities of Woodrow into Breckinridge County. And we're also be dealing with a lot of lightning and a lot of heavy rainfall associated with this. And again, we're taking a look now at the debris ball, see if it's still there. We're not really far away from the radar, but you can see. Notice how that blue shoots all the way through Louisville. That is the debris getting hit by the radar beam, and you can see just all that yellow towards the Woodrow and that green towards Senatsville, that location. Still a lot of debris associated with this storm, and also a lot of rotation. So again, this is a dangerous tornado, confirmed, observed, long-lived, making its way all the way from extreme southwestern portions of Kentucky, making its way through Breckinridge and to eventually Hardin and Meade County. So again, that tornado warning in effect for eastern Breckinridge, also northern Hardin and southern Meade counties. This will be in effect until 1:30 Eastern time or 12:30 Central time. So we're tracking these storms and tracking this particular tornado making its way through the Stenettsville community, also towards Burris, Woodrow, High Plains in Breckinridge County, also Dyer, Vertrees, and Four Corners. You're in the path of this dangerous tornado, and we're also getting word now from our director about another video.
Yeah, and where would this be from? Okay, video now of the Graves County Courthouse. Oh my goodness. Look at the damage that occurred there with a strong tornado that moved through Mayfield earlier tonight, practically destroying the city's courthouse. And we understand too from Kentucky State Police there could be fatalities. We are working on further confirmation of that, but the destruction very severe, it does appear, from the Mayfield community of Graves County from earlier tonight. These pictures just now coming in.
That's right, and this is from the same tornado which is now in Breckinridge County earlier tonight over in Graves County. That was before it reached its way into portions of Hopkins County and Christian County earlier. But now at this point, we are going to be dealing with more potential threat of tornadoes heading into tonight, with that main line moving in late tonight, and also more supercells beginning to make its way into the WBKO viewing area. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom out now and take you to a new warning that's just been issued for southern Christian County. This one's another area of concern for us because this is making its way into central portions of the WBKO viewing area eventually. But right now, towards including Oak Grove, this is an observed tornado with considerable damage threats, a confirmed large, extremely dangerous tornado near Big Rock. This is in Tennessee, Big Rock, Tennessee, moving to the north and east at 60 miles per hour. Notice that couplet, that strong rotation in northern Tennessee. I'll get the pointer out that way you can see that. Right in here, it's making its way to the north and east, making its way towards southern Christian County, and could eventually clip southern Todd County, but that's going to be a little far out at this point. But still, the next hour looks like it's going to be making its way into southern Christian County. Shane?
Right, so as one tornadic cell moves out, unfortunately, another tornadic cell moves in, and it's this one now. It's very close to Dover, Tennessee. It's out of the coverage area at the moment. However, because of its rapid movement to the east-northeast, that's going to take it into the WBKO viewing area in short order. Hence the reason southern Christian County is now under that new tornado warning. This will be the area here south of Hopkinsville that takes in Oak Grove. That's also going to take in Fort.
Suggestions, Grow, or recommended for you, Grow, videos from other channels you might like, Grow.
Kentucky, Tennessee line between Hopkinsville and Clarksville. And then you have Oak Grove also in the path of this tornado at 1246. The strongest rotation center, it's out here in Stewart County, Tennessee. There it is right now. But again, the rapid east-northeastward movement is going to bring it into our coverage area in the next little while. So hardly a chance to even catch our breath here, unfortunately, but we're going to be dealing with yet another tornadic cell and potential here for more tornado damage as we move into southern Christian County within the next hour or so. And out here farther to the east, you've got Elkton. You've got also the Trenton area, southern Todd County. You're not under the warning right now in Elkton, but please be advised if you've got a tornado warned cell not too far to your west-southwest that is going to be hauling it east-northeastward. Now, there is the actual radar site from Fort Campbell. We say Fort Campbell, it's actually a little bit east of there, but that's the way it's tagged. And then out here, you've got a lot of lightning showing up, and I don't like what I see here already. This is just a little bit to the east of Dover, Tennessee. We are noting a debris ball associated with this tornadic signature. There it is now. There's an updated velocity scan, and now it is moving away from Dover. Here is the Kentucky-Tennessee line right here. Hopkinsville, tip top of your screen. The area of rotation is now beginning to work out of Stewart County, Tennessee. It will be working very quickly in the southernmost Christian County, the area south of Hopkinsville. Here's Oak Grove. You also have Fort Campbell in this vicinity, right along the Kentucky-Tennessee line, and Lafayette as well. Here's Highway 107, Highway 117. You got I-24, heavily traveled interstate between Paducah and Nashville. This tornado could travel right over I-24 within the next 45 minutes or so in the area due south of Hopkinsville and just north of Oak Grove. And here is Todd County. Again, Todd County not under the tornado warning right now, but don't be surprised if you go underneath one within the next, say, 45 minutes or so, given the way that things are going tonight and the fast movement to the east-northeast of this tornadic cell now straddling the border of Kentucky and Tennessee, Ethan.
Yeah, that's right. And before we go any further into this storm, I do want to bring attention to what the other tornado has done in its wake. And we have a lot of power outages. I'll go ahead and name off a few counties that have been impacting the WBKO viewing area. In Hopkins County, almost 6,800 folks are without power at this point. In Muhlenberg County, over 2,200 people are without power. Customers are without power in Muhlenberg County. In McLean County, over 1,200 without power. And in Ohio County, over 8,000 customers without power. And at this point, we do have some reports of power outages in Breckinridge County, though we cannot confirm that so far. But shifting gears now back to this particular storm, this one is another concern because, again, this is a confirmed large, dangerous tornado making its way into Tennessee, crossing over the Tennessee and Kentucky state line, getting closer towards the Christian County area, towards portions of Kentucky Route 107 and just to the south of I-24. And what concerns me is the trajectory of this storm. So notice the direction of this. We are looking at this direction over the next hour or so, making its way closer towards the Todd County area, and that'll be over the next hour or so. But nonetheless, though, the tornado warning in effect currently for Christian County, southern Christian County in particular. And I just got word from our director of something. What was that, Jackson? Okay, so I want to direct to the video we're about to show you. This is in Grayson County, or Graves County, excuse me. Graves County near Mayfield. This is where that tornado earlier that crossed through Muhlenberg, Hopkins County. That tornado, which is now off towards Hardin County, this was the damage that this tornado caused earlier in Mayfield. This is outside the WBKO viewing area, but just to show you the considerable damage that large, dangerous tornado had caused. At this point, not having any confirmation of any injuries or death, but as you can see, major structural damage. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, Governor Andy Beshear issuing a state of emergency for Kentucky. There is the courthouse over in Graves County, which is destroyed at this point, it looks like, Shane.
Yes, just gut-wrenching images coming out of Graves County tonight. We do hope that there were no fatalities there, but the scene is quite devastating for what we're getting there in Graves County. And again, this is the same storm cell that worked its way out of far west Kentucky into our coverage area earlier tonight. It's the same one that's now moving out of Breckinridge County and into the far, far northern tip of Hardin County. That one's moving away from us, but as that one moves away, another one is moving in. And the one that's moving in is the one that's heading out of Stewart County, Tennessee, and soon into Christian County. Here it is on Velocity Scope here on Max Storm HD, right in this area. That's where the strongest rotation is. Confirmed tornado out of this one. This is going to roll into southern Christian County toward Lafayette soon. And then there's the Beverly Community that's a little bit closer to Hopkinsville. Here is I-24, very heavily traveled corridor there from Nashville to Paducah. The velocity scan just updated. So on the new sweep, we still see strong rotation here, folks, right along the Kentucky-Tennessee line. This would be south-southwest of Hopkinsville. Hopkinsville would be tip-top of your screen. Fort Campbell, just a little bit east of where this rotation center is. And here's debris detector. We still see this area here near Lafayette, close to Highway 107. The brighter area here, that light green and yellow, an indication that we have lofted debris from this tornado now heading into southernmost Christian County. Here's the Herndon community. Here's Highway 117. I know this is basically the fringe area for our coverage area, as it were, here, but keep in mind, Todd County next door, you need to be paying very close attention to this. This is a confirmed tornado. We just dealt with one earlier this week in Elkton, as you recall, back on Monday morning. We hope to not have to deal with another one, but unfortunately, we do know of this one being confirmed and on the ground, and it is going to roll right over US 41, likely within the next 15 minutes or so. Here's I-24. It's going to cross over I-24 also within the next 15 to 20 minutes. Here's Oak Grove, rather populous community, not far away from Fort Campbell. Fort Campbell will be down in this vicinity, right along the Kentucky-Tennessee line. That's where that military base is located. Then you have the Pembroke community. Pembroke, we haven't mentioned you in the far eastern part of Christian County. You're under that tornado warning as well. And there's Highway 41A as you head out of Christian County and into Todd County. There's where the radar site is between Pembroke and Trenton. This could actually go over, if not very close to that radar site here within the next 30, 45 minutes or so. We'll have to see what happens with that. But the bottom line is the danger that this presents. And here we are, well past midnight, pitch dark outside. These tornadoes are rain wrapped, going to be very, very hard, if not impossible to see. Don't try to chase them, gang. If you're under a tornado warning, you need to stay put, shelter in place. And by shelter, we're talking the basement, lowest level of your home, with as many walls between you and the outside world that you could possibly find. Not as much lightning illuminating this storm as what we had with the supercell that just moved out of Breckinridge County a short time ago, but nonetheless, there is some lightning showing up here in southern Christian County. Very heavy rain, but our main concern is that tornado potential. Now, near Lafayette, right along Highway 107, that's where the tornado would be on the ground right now, where we have the inbound versus the outbound showing up here on the velocity scope. That will be heading toward I-24. Oak Grove, this could pass just north of there, but again, Oak Grove toward Pembroke, need to be in a place of safety right now along Highway 109 as you head south to Pembroke for sure. And then there is a 41A as you work your way southward out of Hopkinsville. It's going to cross over 24, that's I-24, I should say, and then 41A within the next 10 to 15 minutes. All need to be in a place of safety at this time. I see the polygon flashing here. Do we have any new info coming down, Ethan?
At this point, it looks like the National Weather Service in Nashville has been updating, looks like Stewart County, which is near the Clarksville area, and also will be soon be updating the warning that's in Christian County. This is a particularly dangerous situation of a tornado warning. It's been confirmed, it's large, and it's moving to the north and east at 65 miles per hour. So a very fast-moving storm. Once again, very similar to how it was earlier tonight with that other very strong, damaging tornado. And Stewart County in Tennessee getting reports of tornado damage and injuries. This is outside the WBKO viewing area, but this is the history of a tornado that's making its way into the WBKO viewing area. So just want to report this really quick. Stewart County, reports of tornado damage and injuries. Walker Ridge at Link Road, and also some power outages associated with that as well. And they've got an update now from the National Weather Service in Paducah, which is having its importance over Christian County. Again, this is a particularly dangerous storm, an observed tornado, considerable damage expected, a confirmed tornado located near Fort Campbell, at Fort Campbell, moving to the north and east at 55 miles per hour. So anywhere between 55 and 65-mile-per-hour winds moving with this storm. So very fast-moving storm with that strong rotation. Again, particularly dangerous situation. So this is one of those very large tornadoes, but we don't want any confirmation from anybody. We want you to be in your safe space. That's the most important thing at this point. Making sure you're at the lowest level of your building. If you're in Southern Christian County, if you're in Oak Grove, if you're in Beverly, Pembroke, and if you're in Todd County, Southern Todd County in particular, you need to be prepared at this point. There is no warning for you yet, but this is where you need to be extra prepared and staying weather aware at this point. But taking a look now at the latest velocity scan, there it is. You can see the red and the green. And we'll take a look now and see if there's any kind of debris ball at this point. And indeed there is. You can see that debris ball very prominent in the Fort Campbell area, just near Lafayette, making its way towards the Garrettsburg community and also towards Howell. And it's kind of hard to see because this is very close to the radar. And it's making its way to the north and east again at 55 miles per hour. So very strong, very fast-moving supercell storm. We call it a supercell storm because it is having rotation with it, and that rotation is both aloft and also at the surface with this very large and dangerous tornado. Shane?
All right, and there is a new velocity sweep just coming across right here, right along Highway 117, almost due south of Hopkinsville. That's where the tornado would be on the ground right now. Again, this is a PDS tornado, particularly dangerous situation, confirmed on the ground. This will likely cross over I-24 within the next few minutes or so. A very heavily traveled interstate between Nashville and Paducah. Here is the Pennyroyal Parkway coming due south out of Hopkinsville. And then you have Highway 107. You also have Highway 41 and 41A in this vicinity. Here's Pembroke. And then out here, this is Todd County. Once you get into Fairview, you go a little bit west or east of there, I should say. You've got Elkton. Here is US 6880. And here's Elkton. So if you live from Elkton southward, you certainly need to be aware of what is going on next door in Christian County, where we have a tornado on the ground now. It will be working on the northern part, it looks like, of the Fort Campbell vicinity, which kind of straddles the Kentucky-Tennessee line. And then you have Fidelio at 12:21, estimated time of arrival there within a couple of minutes. St. Elmo, that's in Southern Christian County, 12:29. Pembroke at 12:35, and then Trenton, that's getting out here to Todd County now, 12:44. So Todd County, you need to be on guard. You're not under a tornado warning as yet. That's a situation, though, that could change, and it could do so in short order, especially for those of you from Elkton down to Trenton, Guthrie. Need to take heed of what's going on next door in Christian County. What's going on is a large tornado confirmed here due south of Hopkinsville. It is very close to Fort Campbell right now. Here's Oak Grove. It is likely to pass maybe just a little bit to the north of Oak Grove. It's heading just a little bit north of east right now, which will likely take it very close to, not right over, the radar site, which is considered to be the Fort Campbell radar site, even though it's actually in Todd County, a little bit to the southeast of the Pembroke community along 41 there as you travel from Pembroke down toward Guthrie. Again, Elkton, Trenton, Guthrie need to be watching with a very close eye what's happening here in Christian County. You may see a tornado warning up for your area any moment now. You can see some new severe thunderstorm warning information coming across there just to the south of this tornado warned area. That would be for a portion of Montgomery County, Tennessee, I do believe. And there is the debris detector again. I'm still seeing an area right along Highway 117 near the Howell community now. Debris ball associated with this large confirmed tornado south of Hopkinsville, very close to Highway 117. You got Howell here. Here's Fidelio, we mentioned a minute ago. Here's I-24. Folks, this tornado is going to cross right over Interstate 24 in just a few minutes. That tornado, there it is, very near the Howell community right now along Highway 117. Look at the inflow going into this, very strong, and then outbound winds here on the other side. That is a tight couplet, a very classic looking one and a very dangerous looking one here, to be honest. And again, this is going to roll right over I-24. It's moving east-northeast at speeds anywhere from 50 to 60 miles an hour. So this tornado moves right over I-24 in just a few minutes, very close to the Fidelio community. Here is US 41, also a very heavily traveled route from out of Hopkinsville and down toward the Fort Campbell base. So this is a fairly populous area here between Hopkinsville and Fort Campbell. And once it gets beyond there, it's going to be heading toward Highway 109, St. Elmo in the crosshairs, and then eventually beyond there, you don't have too far to go before this thing is into Todd County, gang. So we've got to watch this one very, very carefully. Again, don't like what I see here at all here on the velocity scope, with the rotation looking very, very pronounced, and a debris ball also illuminated very brightly here on debris detection just south of the Beverly community. There's reflectivity, heavy rain here. Yeah, there could be some localized flooding tonight, but our main concern right now is the tornado potential. We have not just potential, but a confirmed tornado out of this one south of Hopkinsville. Now getting ready to roll right over I-24 and 41A between Oak Grove and Hopkinsville. That's where it's going to go. And then from there, it is going to move very close to the Pembroke area, perhaps just a little bit south of there. And then it could go right over, very, very close to the Fort Campbell radar site itself, which is out here in Todd County between Trenton and Pembroke. And from there, it will likely move into Todd County. So Todd County, if you live in Trenton right now, I would be going ahead and seeking shelter, especially given the swift movement of this storm. Ethan, what do you got?
Got a report from the Fort Campbell Air Force Base. You have a report wind gusts at their ASOS, which is their airport, at 69 mile per hour. So very, very strong winds at the Fort Campbell Air Force Base. And the Paducah National Weather Service updating this tornado warning. It is observed. Damage threat is considerable. This is a particularly dangerous situation with this tornado warning. So this tornado warning continuing for Christian County until 12:45. I will not be surprised at all if they issue one for Todd County here momentarily.
Yeah, I fully expect that to come soon. That's why I say if you live in Trenton, even if you live up toward Elkton, I would go ahead and be seeking shelter in a place of safety right now, because this is going to be upon you in very, very short order. Again, here's the latest velocity scan right now. Has a tornado, and we know it's large. We know it's confirmed. Very close to I-24. I think with the next scan that comes across here, this will likely be right over, if not just a little bit east of the interstate even, given how swiftly it's moving. And then that would put it right over 41A, or very close to 41A, due south of Hopkinsville and a little bit north of Oak Grove. It's going to pass between Hopkinsville and Oak Grove. Then it's going to head out here toward the Pembroke area. Could pass just a little bit south of there, but it's going to be a close call for Pembroke, it looks like. And then crossing into Todd County. So that would include places like Trenton, then up toward Elkton. I fully expect we're going to get a warning there in Todd County very, very soon. So stand by for that if you live in Trenton or in Elkton. Again, here's a closer view. Here's the Fidelio community. That is along 41 between Hopkinsville and Fort Campbell. There's the debris detector. We're still seeing a debris ball. Very well pronounced. It is just outside of Fidelio right now along I-24. Here's I-24 right here, gang. And there's a new velocity scope. And we are getting to the radar site here, closer to it, toward Trenton. So once we get closer to that site, we may have to dance around and look for some other sites to detect what's going on here, because it's going to be harder to see exactly where that tornado is. But right now, looks like that tornado will be very close to, if not right over, the Fidelio community. This is north of Oak Grove, south of Hopkinsville. Strongest rotation in that vicinity of Fidelio right now. This is moving to the east, northeast. This will take it towards Salem Church by 11:27. Big Walnut Grove Church, 12:31 in the morning. Then Pembroke, as we mentioned, 12:38. Edgefield Church by 12:40 a.m. And that's getting out here now into Todd County. Again, we are just standing by for the Weather Service, I think at any moment, to likely issue a tornado warning for Todd County. Given what we're seeing here, we're still seeing strong rotation along now Highway 41. It has already crossed over I-24. Here's the area. So it's approaching Pembroke. This tornado could go right over or very close to the city of Pembroke, which is along US 41 as you work your way southeast of Hopkinsville. Pembroke is also very close to the Todd County line. Here's Todd County right here, gang. So we are standing by for a warning that will likely come down at any moment now for Todd County.
Right. At this point, there's no warning, but still, if you're in Elkton, take cover now, because this tornado likely heading in your direction at this point. It's a strong, confirmed, extremely dangerous tornado. And though the National Weather Service in Paducah has not issued a warning, we're going to tell you now to go ahead and take cover. There's no any indication of this tornado weakening by any point.
No.
So as it moves off to the east and northeast, moving very, very fast, mind you, it will impact folks over in Todd County. In fact, it's getting very close to the Christian County, Todd County line. As Shane had mentioned, the Pembroke community about ready to be under the gun for this very large, destructive tornado. Taking a look now at the debris signature to see if there's any major debris ball, and there is, although this is slightly delayed with the radar time, but still, there is signs of this thing having debris lofted in the air from this tornado. Large, dangerous tornado, and it is moving to the north and east at 55 miles per hour. So a very strong tornado with us, and very fast-moving tornado as well.
Yeah, again, here is Pembroke right now, so that tornado would be between Pembroke and Fidelio at the moment.
Oh my God, get in the hole.
Todd County, I would go ahead and be looking for a place of safety. If I lived in Elkton, Herman, Trenton, this is not very far away from you at all. So go ahead and be seeking shelter if you live in any of these communities. This has been a large confirmed tornado out of this storm cell in southern Christian County. Now moving southeast of Hopkinsville, strongest returns here that are showing signs of rotation between Fidelio, where the bright green is, and where the red is here, just to the west of Pembroke. That is the likely location of the tornado, basically along Highway 109. That is southeast of Hopkinsville as you work your way into southern Christian County. Here's Highway 41 going from Pembroke and over into Trenton, over in Todd County. And there is the Elkton community as well. You've got US 6880. Again, Elkton, Herman, Trenton, I would go ahead and be looking for a place of safety right now. Even though we don't have a tornado warning here as yet, I would be very surprised if we don't get one within the next couple of minutes or so. Remember, this is moving very quickly off to the east-northeast, speeds of 50 to 60 miles an hour. And also remember, this has been large and confirmed, this tornado with a PBS tag on it, a particularly dangerous situation. That's something we don't say very often, especially not in these parts. Okay, there's the new tornado warning. It's now coming out for central Todd County. That does take in the city of Elkton, and that is up until what time, Ethan?
Okay, so it just came in. Again, this is an observed, particularly dangerous tornado located over Pembroke and moving to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. This tornado warning will be in effect until 1 a.m. Central Time.
All right, so 1 a.m. Now we can say officially Central Todd County. This includes Elkton. This includes the Justice community. And this is, by the way, out here looking to Logan County. Logan County, if you're watching around Russellville, pay careful attention to what's going on. You're not under a tornado warning in Logan right now, but be watchful for what's happening out here in southern Christian County. Confirmed tornado now in southeastern Christian County, near Pembroke, near US 41, that's getting ready to move out of Christian County and into Todd County. Hence the new tornado warning that's up there that does take in the city of Elkton. It also takes in Trenton and basically these areas from, say, Allegree all the way down to Trenton. If you live in between those two communities, seek shelter immediately. A large confirmed tornado now coming out of Christian County, moving its way east-northeast into the central part of Todd County. That could put it right over, not very close to Elkton, which was struck by an EF1 tornado earlier this week. You can see a flashing polygon there of the tornado warning in Christian County. Looks like we've got an update on that one, Ethan.
Yeah, that's correct. So it is still a particularly dangerous situation with this tornado. It's observed, it's confirmed. Tornado damage threat is considerable. It's moving over Pembroke, 8 miles northeast of Oak Grove, moving towards the north and east at 60 miles per hour. So as we've been echoing all night long, these are fast-moving storms, and this is a very large, dangerous tornado associated with this tornado warning that's in Christian County, now in effect for Todd County as well. And the latest radar scans, probably difficult to see just considering the fact that it's so close to radar, and you can see it's kind of getting messy on the screen.
Yeah, it is, although it's still discernible there near the Pembroke community. That's where the tornado would be right now, right over the city of Pembroke. And there's the debris detection. Again, getting a little bit messier because we're getting closer to the radar site, but we still noted some debris there on the debris detection over southeastern Christian County. And there's a closer view. This is Pembroke. Now you've got bright green here against bright red here along Highway 115 that runs from Fairview down toward Pembroke. Fairview is right on the Todd Christian County line. Here is US 6880 that goes from Elkton over to Hopkinsville. It's south of 6880 right now by a few miles, but not by much. So just south of Fairview, between there and Pembroke, that's where the tornado will be on the ground right now, probably right along Highway 115, getting ready to cross out of Christian County and heading into Todd County. So here are the communities in the path. We have Bell's Chapel, 1237, Philippi Church, 1239, Tress Shop, 1243. That's getting into Todd County now. Standard Field at 1245, and the city of Elkton in the crosshairs for this large confirmed tornado at 1248. That would be the estimated time of arrival. So in Elkton, you need to be in a place of safety right now. Best place, if you've got it, basement or a storm cellar. If you don't have either one of those, then the lowest level of your home with you, as many walls between yourself and the outside world that you could possibly find to stay away from what has been a large confirmed tornado that worked its way out of Stewart County, Tennessee earlier into Kentucky, is moving east-northeast, and that's going to put it on a path, unfortunately, right toward the city of Elkton, which was struck earlier this week by an EF1 tornado, but this one potentially larger. And it is going to move close to US 6880, it looks like, within the next 10 to 15 minutes. So you need to be in a place of safety. And then out here, here's Logan County on the right-hand side of your screen. This is Gordonsville. Here's the Justice Community. That's along 178. Logan County, potentially next in line. So you need to be paying very close attention if you live there in Russellville. Even
That's right, and I do want to go ahead and make a point that you just said about Logan County is next in line. The National Weather Service in Louisville has been watching this cell, and there are good supportive environment ahead of this. So that means is that the environment that's in Logan County, here in Warren County, I'll go ahead and zoom out a little bit more that way you can see the direction this is heading towards. Not good news that we're having a good environment for this tornado cell to potentially be another long-living cell, similar to the one that was to our north earlier tonight. But again, tornado warning still in effect for extreme eastern portions of Christian County and central Todd County, including Elkton, until 1 a.m. So another 30 minutes or so for that. But the thing is, though, if you're in Russellville, if you're here in Bowling Green, you want to be weather aware, specifically on this cell heading into the next hour and a half, 2 hours, just because the fact that this is a fast-moving, large, dangerous tornado. So that was your first alert with that. But we're going to zoom back in now on this tornado, which is crossing over into Todd County at this point, moving just to the north of the radar site. You can see that black dot there just to the north and west of Trenton. That is where this rotation, this very large, dangerous tornado is. And I'll take a look now at reflectivity. This is looking at rain. And this is going to be a rain-wrapped large tornado. And as you can see, it's really hard to tell where that would be, where that tornado would be at least, considering the fact there's a lot of red. So a lot of heavy rainfall, very difficult to see in this situation. So if you're in Todd County right now, you want to be in your safe space, the lowest level of your building. Basement is the best spot. If you don't have a basement, the next best spot would be either your bathroom perhaps, or a closet or stairwell.